Hi everyone. This is what happened to me when I got government housing, part 70. On the 26th of the 7th, 2017, I came home from somewhere and I saw that the respondent's van was still in my parking spot like it always was. And it was depressing and overwhelming because seeing that just made me think that he was able to get away with anything and the rules didn't apply to him. And it was so depressing given everything involved in representing myself in court and what my life had become. By the 28th of the 7th, 2017, more rubbish had been thrown into my side yard, and strangely, there was a piece of wood in my side yard that had black paint on it with the same consistency as the black paint that had been thrown on my bra. So I had to conclude that it was the same paint, and I've got a photo of that piece of wood here. On the 31st of the 7th, 2017, I went back to the Community Legal Centre to ask if I could sue the Department of Housing for the things that the respondent had done to me. But they claimed that I couldn't, but they said that I should report those things to the department, which I didn't understand. If I had to report it, it would mean that it was their responsibility to keep me safe, or that they had breached some sort of legal duty towards me. And if I couldn't get them to take responsibility, as the lawyer that I spoke to had claimed, then why would I need to report the incidents? It didn't seem to make sense to me. And the other thing that didn't make sense was that, excuse me, this community legal service tried to portray an image of itself as helping disadvantaged people. And here they were. They had a disadvantaged single mum, who was me, and they kept telling me that they couldn't help me. I kept going back there because I was looking for some sort of support. I thought that I needed just one point on which to start the legal process and I would be okay, because I could get the people who worked in the courts to see that the respondent was doing these things and that I was telling the truth. And in some ways, I thought that the truth would avalanche and everything would be easier for me because the people in the justice system could see what was happening to me. But I wasn't talking about stuff that most people see. And I felt like I could talk and talk and no one understood me. It seemed like the respondent was some sort of untouchable princess, and there was nothing that I could do to taint his image. Then on the 2nd of the 8th, 2017, I was walking back into the block from somewhere when I saw one of the housing officers walk down the stairs and into the laundry, which is opposite my unit. And in some ways, it felt like she was following me as I walked towards the door. They saw me, but didn't say anything as they walked along behind me and then into the laundry, and watched me as I opened my door and went inside. I had seen so many different people go into that laundry, and I always wondered why. There were people from the block, visitors, and even people I had never seen before, and I never knew what they were doing and why they were in there. And now that I wasn't using the laundry because I didn't have a washing machine and dryer, I wasn't going in there myself, except on the rare occasion where I went in to check out my washing machine space. I wish there were cameras in the laundry, but nothing I said to anyone made a difference, and the lawyers that I spoke to about what happened to me never said that they were going to ask the department to install cameras to help to protect me. So I just assumed that it wasn't an option. So on the 3rd of the 8th, 2017, I finally plucked up the courage to notify the Department of Housing about the damage done to my unit, or maybe I had just reached a point where I didn't care about the consequences anymore. But I notified them in writing and I included photos. I asked that I be contacted by mail because I didn't want anyone ringing me and yelling at me like the police had done. Then on the 4th of the 8th, 2017, I got home from somewhere and I saw people had a trailer parked in the car park and they were putting furniture into it. And it was coming from the same unit that my friend had died in and the same unit that the other man had died in. And I knew that a new resident had moved in, but I didn't ask the man who was collecting the furniture why he was removing it all. And I felt sad that someone else was leaving the block on top of all the other people that had left over the past few years. And then on the 6th of the 8th, 2017, the respondent was extra aggressive inside his unit and he was banging on my ceiling all day and all night until just before midnight.